Ads are everywhere and you just can't seem to get away from them. They're on your mind-numbing commute to work on massive billboards. They interrupt your favourite TV show or some crap TV, and you probably had to watch an advert before watching this video. I don't know what the hell this advert's supposed to mean.
Daisy, 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 Daisy.
But you know where they're at their worst? News sites. You're browsing your phone and you find a story you want to read, you click on it and then you're bombarded with a pop-up ad, a banner ad, some adverts within the article. You accidentally click on one of the ads and you end up in a teeming rabbit hole where you're offered massage guns, back scratches and whatever the hell this is. So many news sites are a car crash in web design. There are slow loading ads, autoplay videos, pop-ups asking you to enable cookies or not, and it's an absolute mess. It's a user experience that just makes you want to pick up your phone and throw it across the room.
Just want to read the story.
But why is this? Well, I'm going to explain to you why we are bombarded with these adverts, the uneasy relationship that advertisers have with publishers, and why we, the readers, might solve be the problem for this mess. Advertisements have been in newspapers since they were first created several centuries ago. These advertisements will help pay for the staff, the production, the distribution, and to keep the business alive, to ensure that these newspapers could keep people informed about stuff that was happening in the old-timey world. Looking back on these ads were really flogging any old shit like Temu or Wish does these days. Here's an ad for a hygienic vacuum cap, which aims to prevent hair loss and hair turning grey. In all fairness, back in those days you couldn't just fly to Turkey to get a hair transplant or just nip to the shop to get some hair colouring. It's been a reliable income for publishers for several centuries, and we've seen the rise of political ads, classified ads, public service ads, native advertisement, and all this other stuff that is covered in column banners, pages, and inches. With the launch of the internet in the 1990s, news outlets had the opportunity to bring their news offline, online, to a new global audience. This also gave them the chance to earn something called digital ad revenue thanks to ad placements on their websites. This money would be put back into the business and allow print to run hand in hand with online news. News websites can run digital ads like column ads, header banners, pop-up ads, in-article ads, video advertisements, native advertising, and so much more. Users can close some of these by finding the X button, an experience that is similar to trying to find a diamond in a sewer. When you visit a website for the first time, you'll be asked whether or not you want to enable cookies or not in their privacy notice. Now, if you do allow this allows the site to monitor your browsing habits and then suggest you relevant ads subject to your likes and dislikes. Now, these relevant ads would then appear on other sites based on your browsing habits. This is something called behavioural retargeting. For example, let's say you want to buy a new TV. You go online to find the latest brands, the best models, and read reviews to see which TVs will make Barbie look really good on. These browsing habits are then collected and then turned into relevant ads for you to be displayed on various websites. But what about these weird looking and fake ads you see? Ads that claim that Jeremy Clarkson has been arrested, a gigantic woman warning people about solar panels, and why you should stick an onion in your socks. These old adverts sometimes appear on legitimate websites, and actually most websites don't actually decide about what ads actually appear on their websites. You see, the online ad ecosystem is largely built around programmatic advertising, a system for placing adverts from various advertisers on millions of websites. This system uses computers to automate bidding by advertisers on available ad spaces, often with transactions occurring faster than would be possible manually. When you have these bizarre ads about crypto or what Martin Lewis's evil twin thinks you should invest in alongside legitimate news stories, this is quite problematic. And of course, really annoying. You cannot escape these ads unless you have an ad blocker installed. But then again, some sites might politely ask you to turn them off or just buy one of their digital subscriptions. And of course, by using an ad blocker, you are not seeing those ads, and therefore that site or publisher is unable to earn any digital ad revenue as a result of it.
To be fair, I don't care.
Now, some digital publishers like to put on the maximum number of ads they can on their news sites, in the hope that maybe that they will get the most ad revenue as they can possible. But this in turn creates slow page loads, and as a result, people might get a bit frustrated with trying to wait for the video to load or the article to load and then just click off and then just close the article. And this creates a massive issue for news publishers. If your site is crammed full of ads and it's going to take ages for them to load, readers then don't want to click on it. And then in turn, Google will then downvote your site as a result because they know people are not looking and clicking on your articles anymore and actually closing them. To prove my point, we're going to play a game of Count the Ads, where we're going to see how many ads are loading on the screen and how annoying they are. Right, here we go. We've got a story from the Mirror Online here about XL Bully Dogs. Not going to talk about it here, bit controversial, but we can already see there's 3 adverts here. We've got a massive Dunelm Homes ad there, can't miss it. We've got some more adverts here from TalkTalk and something from National Trust, that's 3 ads already. Got some about Volvo, something about pizza, that's 5. A better link about boots there, that's 6. Hearing aids, co-op ads, that's 8. 7 down the column there, I can't keep up, I think that's 12, 14. 7 from the Dogs Trust there, really good charity. 7 from Volvo, hearing aids again, life insurance, man. The dogs again, we get it, they're very important, we get it. Team U, they're bloody everywhere. Another shopping advert there, and loads of other ads there. I can't keep up. I think it's at least 20 ads. Editor's gonna have to look into that, I don't know. But back to the video. News outlets have struggled with attracting advertisers and therefore revenue they could be making off those ads. Yet news sites will embed banner ads that are so ineffective that only will click on them 0.05% of the time, aka 5 clicks per 10,000 impressions. Which, to be fair, says a lot. It shows the angst that audiences have towards adverts online, and the advertisers are so surprised that you clicks on their ad that they feel like the jilted teenager at prom finally getting a date. Because they are so ineffective, more ads are put into these stories in the vain hope that the reader is exposed to them or accidentally clicks on one of the adverts. As a result, it creates a page load that is slow as a Ferrari pit stop. It's a vicious cycle that journalists hate, readers like to moan and complain about on social media, but advertisers are just happy that they got a bit of exposure. But moving forward a few years, news outlets have struggled as a result of the rise of the internet. No one really wanted to pay for newspapers anymore because they could just read their news online for free. And that created an ecosystem where people didn't really want to pay for news anymore. They didn't want to then have to buy a newspaper to get the daily happenings of the world yesterday when they could just read about on the internet and get live breaking news. It's like, why pay for a Sky TV subscription and pay hundreds of pounds a year for it when you could just get a dodgy stream online to watch Manchester United versus Brighton? And as well as this, print ad revenue has fallen thanks to businesses less likely to pay for paid advertisers in their newspapers. Studies also show that digital ad revenue is insufficient enough to bridge that gap that has been left behind by a lack of investment by advertisers but also by publishers. Look at this graph. It shows the global print advertising market has halved in the last 6 years, but a number of tech giants and retailers are taking their cut of the digital ad revenue. The Press Gazette reports how publishers are competing with the likes of Amazon, which alone made $37.7 billion in advertising services in 2022. That's 80% of the entire forecast publisher advertising income for the year ahead, and more than the total print publishing market of $37.3 billion. In addition to Amazon, Google and Meta together made more than $4 in every $10 spent on advertising in any format across the world, which is nearly $400 billion in total. It's like winning £100 off a scratch card as your bank account and your savings accounts get emptied by a hacker off the dark web. I talked about this issue in my video about why BuzzFeed News and Vice News were in trouble, and how in recent years digital ad revenue has been instead going towards these social media platforms and massive retailers online. This has had a negative impact on the journalism industry, and that's why we have seen cost-saving measures put in place by publishers, job cuts, and the closure of online news outlets and newspapers. There's no way around it. Free news sites need these ad placements around their articles to fund their news operations. But in turn, people don't like these ads, and they can happily complain about them or just close the story even before they've reached the end of the article. So why don't these sites just close these adverts and then just find a more efficient way of earning money? Well, to be honest with you, there's no actual other efficient way of trying to earn money with news sites now. For example, USA Today and CNN can provide us with free online news because it has ads. But if we were to turn off those ads, people would be asked to pay for the same news they got for free months prior. It's not really an efficient way, if you know what I mean. Something that's emerged in recent years has been the rise of digital subscriptions. Now, these digital subscriptions allow a user to be able to read their stories on their tablets, phones or computers for an ad-free or limited ad experience.
You can do it right now, please.
Now we're in a situation where readers will maybe pay for news to get rid of those ads or just try and support the outlet. But let's look at another case study. The Independent went for a bold new strategy. Their new strategy included advertising no longer being a majority of revenues, using data to target registered users with more relevant ad offers, independent TV, which is online on free app stores, and a reduction of ad clutter on individual stories. CEO Zach Leonard claims this new strategy has led to an increase in per-page revenue because pages now load faster and are better targeted towards readers' interests. The Independent also puts a smaller number of its articles behind a paywall, and its paywall revenue has risen. The Independent has 5 million registered users, and one of its next targets is to grow its paying readership. It's an interesting experiment, who knows, maybe other media outlets will try and follow suit. The simple fact is, no one wants to pay for news online. Over the years, we've grown accustomed to receiving the same sort of news for free, so we're not going to suddenly start paying for it. The bottom line is, you either pay for journalism, or you pay for not having journalism. We would miss out on exclusives, we would miss out on authorities being held to account, key issues that communities need to know about. If we were to suddenly not have that anymore, communities would be lesser informed, and we would miss it. People would moan on Facebook about why they didn't know about council tax rising, or why there's a load of roadworks that are going to happen for the next 6 months. And we're already seeing that. Journalists are losing their jobs. News outlets are reducing their output and limiting their news operations because they are struggling. This year has been terrible for news industries, and I don't think readers really notice it, but they're going to notice it when their local newspaper closes. So we need to find a way to actually fund journalism and make it something that we'll have for the future and future generations. But whatever, at least we'll have some robots writing about Taylor Swift's latest tour and whatever celebrity shite's going on in the world. If you did like this video, please give me a thumbs up. I really would appreciate it, and of course it helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you can also drop me a comment in the comments below about what you thought about the video, or if there's any points you want to raise about the video, that'd be much appreciated. And of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and please give me your support, and please go back and watch my other videos that have appeared on the screen. Any support is much appreciated, and I hopefully will see you again here soon. Take care for now.